Ooh, gmDAO is definitely down from where it was the other day. It was like 4 something whenever they dropped the Factura, which I think is still. Oh, Factura is down a little bit. 1.69. People were saying this was the next Fidenza, and it was selling for like 3 point something. No, 3 or 4. It was in the 3s or the 4s like 2 days ago. But these are actually pretty unique generative art stuff. I don't know shit about generative art. I'm trying to learn. But yeah, this is all foreign to me. GM seems like it's trying to be something like basically the next art blocks platform. Let's see. The gmDAO is a community of NFT collectors, artists, and investors created in 2021, September to be exact, using a fair token distribution. Cool. Broadly speaking, the DAO was formed based on the principles of etiquette and mutual respect. Can we just skip all this bullshit and tell me what you're about? Structurally, the DAO consists of 900 members, majority active within the NFT sector, backgrounds ranging from accredited investors to renowned generative artists with collections featured on art blocks curated. Our primary goal is to foster and encourage the development of the NFT space, whether through our own organic marketing, seed funding from our treasury, or development from within the DAO itself. Okay. We also seek to provide an edge to our members through information not freely available to the market. Lastly, the gmDAO will launch a number of internally managed projects that will act as a revenue source for the community, with our first venture set to launch in January 2022. I like communities like this. I don't know much about the community, but just the fact that they're still around and looks like they're building a lot of things and building some hype, it's interesting. So let's see. These are what the NFTs look like, by the way. It's just different looking GMs, but each token is basically just a membership to the DAO. I don't think we're gonna read all this. How does one start a movement? First, you need a concept or belief that people can rally behind. GM. Alright, so let's check out GM Studio. This is a generative art launchpad built by artists for artists. We provide equal opportunity to each and every submission with clear and honest feedback provided directly from our curation panel. We've built the studio from the ground up using our experience with existing artistic platforms and the challenges they present to new artists, namely extremely long queues and poor communication. Alright, I think this is cool. Let's check it out. So, this looks like, yeah, these are all the different things they've dropped so far through GM Studio. Mind the Gap, Plasticity, Co-Repo, and just this week, Factura, which is doing well. It's a little bit down from its peak, like over 50%, but it's still doing well. Yeah, so we just talked about this. Factura. The studio is a creation of the gmDAO, an organization consisting of NFT artists, collectors, and enthusiasts. Alright, that's cool. So the people that actually pick the art, it's done blindly, so they don't know who's the artist behind it. They just have to actually enjoy the art, and if it's good, you're gonna make it. Wag me. providing a superior experience for both artists and collectors. So it sounds like they got the actual artists and the collectors in their community, which I'm a big fan of because you need that energy feedback from the people that are creating content. In this case, the content is in the form of new art directly coming from the artists, and the collectors are already right there ready to eat that up. So you love to see it. Meet the gmDAO curation team. Our current board consists of resident gmDAO artists. All of them are experienced generative artists, as well as being highly respected in their fields. I think I followed MV on Twitter the other day, and if I didn't, I want to now. Okay, so this guy made Mind the Gap, which was, I'm pretty sure that was the first thing they dropped through GM Studio. If this ends up turning into something, which it seems like they actually have a genuine community, then yeah, the price of that main membership could take off. I know some people are salty that they bought in when it was high and now it's lower, but yeah, there's definitely momentum coming here. Brian Brinkman, shout out, funny dude. He's in Mind the Gap. These actually look dope. Looks like sushi, like rainbow sushi. And I think if you have the gmDAO pass, it doesn't give you like free NFTs, but I'm pretty sure you get the priority access to minting and all that kind of stuff. Dude, these are actually really cool stuff that are coming out of here. Alright, well, MVs definitely follow. I'm actually kind of impressed by the stuff GM is doing. A full-service platform for generative artists to launch collections. The GM Studio is always looking for new talent to work with, and one of our primary objectives is to provide a superior experience when it comes to launching a new collection. With our expertise and experience in the generative art space, we will guide you through the steps of launching a successful project, from defining the scope, smart contract deployment, marketing, and launch. If you'd like to have your artwork featured on the studio, we welcome you to submit your work via the link below. So I think this is really good because they're helping all their artists market the stuff. Whenever they're marketing their stuff, gmDAO is attached to it just by the fact that they helped them with the launch. Like, this is basically it is a launch pad for these artists. So everything kind of, even though they are helping these other artists market their stuff, it all goes back to it also markets the gmDAO itself. So I think that's really good for just getting the word out there. And that's really how NFTs, like these NFT memberships, should work. I'm really impressed. This is now one of the things that is really catching my eye. Holy shit, I was not expecting that at all. So let's see what it says on their OpenSea. The gmDAO is a community of NFT collectors, artists, and investors created September 21. Is this all the exact same stuff? Okay, GM token is our native governance token with artwork designed by legendary generative artist Rich Poole. These tokens entitle their owner to participate in governance of the gmDAO, as well as granting additional benefits relating to ventures created by the DAO. So, yeah, so you get priority related to the stuff that the DAO creates. I wish it would specify if it was free or not. I'm sure they can't, because you never know. Could be some free stuff, could be a lot of paid stuff, probably. People gotta make money. But, I mean, if you think you're gonna flip 3.45 ETH worth of stuff that you get because you were on that whitelist for gmDAO stuff, then that's really that's what the bet is, kind of, at this point. And if he really goes balls deep on some of this stuff and it turns out to play out well, it could be an easy trade. I like these stats. 327 ETH earned by the 4 artists that have dropped on here. GM Studio. So GM is like, this is interesting because they're doing a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to do with Apewell, but they're basing it around generative art rather than just crypto research. So GM Studio is a generative art platform built and run by the gmDAO, a community of NFT artists, collectors, and enthusiasts. We are the world's first community-owned and managed arts platform. Our goal is to make generative art accessible and exclusive to all. Yeah, so this is a lot of like redundant stuff we've already talked about. Let's see. I'm assuming that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm interested to check out this application platform format. Like, if you need to own, if you need to own a GM token to apply, because that would make a difference, and that's another benefit that would be added into the GM token. But I don't know if they want to, keep people out like that. So let's see. Apply now. We'll aim to get back to you within the next few days. About you, name, Twitter handle, email. Okay, so this is all like theoretical. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's like, what are you thinking about doing? Nothing's set in stone, but what's the idea for this? So name, size, mint price. Tell us about it. Include your inspiration and design method. I don't know why I can't pronounce that right now. I'm not even gonna try. Please provide a link to a gallery of test mints. We require at least 10% of the total supply, but share more if you can. The pieces should be random and not handpicked. Interesting. I'm wondering if, yeah, so that's a required thing. You gotta have it done at that point. But it doesn't say you have to own an NFT to do this, unless, the sign up restricts you from hitting send unless you own a token. That's what I'm trying to figure out right here. So let's see.
Bitch, I blow big, these other niggas, they smoke mid. Straight kush, no tobacco, my nigga, no cigs. No shit,
will that work? Damn it. I'm just trying to like, come on, I'm just trying to see how this works. Maybe I can just pull off, can I use Pudgy Penguin? Damn. Alright, well, whatever. It doesn't say anything about owning a NFT to submit, so I assume they let anybody apply who wants to launch through GM, which makes sense. Or at least, yeah, it would make more sense. Let's see how this works. Become a featured artist. To be featured on GM Studio, please submit your work via the apply link or send them an email. I'm so intercontinental, penman with this pencil. My penmanship and penmanship, but number 2, my pencil. Far from accredited, but credible, it's my credentials. Pull up and toast towards the potency of my potential. Alright, let's check out the process. This is if you want to launch a project with gmDAO. So, after you submit your stuff, it gets presented to a panel. The panel reviews the submission, provides initial feedback. Each panel member provides their feedback separately. The panel deliberates. Wait, hold on. Let me go back real quick. So the panel provides initial feedback. They all do it individually, separately. I wonder if this is kept between the panel. It seems like it is because panel deliberates, so they all have their own opinions and they bring it together to deliberate on it. Panel votes, 60% or more in favor is required for a successful application, and then the feedback gets provided after the panel gets to check over it. Alright, cool. I am gonna save that because I think that's important. I'll probably end up doing a gmDAO process. I'm probably gonna end up doing an article about these guys because I like what they're doing. Alright, submissions. Submissions are first screened by the curation lead for a subjective quality standard. Alright, we don't need to read about all that kind of stuff.
New money, same plug, but got different codes. Got different shit to smoke for everywhere nigga go.
I love how all art stuff, just on a tangent, talks about like climate and stuff. Like it's a prereq if you're existing in the art world. You want some respect. Gotta be about that earth. Interesting. So I'm gonna keep these on my radar. I honestly might pick one up. I think having memberships to these exclusive private communities are gonna be some of the most profitable trades that you can make in the long run, at least. Especially if some of these end up becoming powerhouses in like the generative art space or whatever space they're in.